What's good, guys? It's MD back with another video, and today is actually the first video on my football channel. Sorry it took a long time for me to upload and that. So since the draft is approaching in about a few months, it's gonna be part one of the round one mock draft. Part two is gonna be after free agency and stuff. So yeah. For the first pick in the NFL draft, the Jaguars, they select Trevor Lawrence, quarterback out of Clemson. Trevor Lawrence, obviously, I'll shave my hair bald if they don't pick him number one. He's just too talented a quarterback to pass up on him. Uh, he has no weaknesses. The Jaguars need a quarterback. He was hired Urban Meyer. That would go great with Trevor Lawrence scheme, and they do need help on the quarterback position, and they could be a really serious contender. For a number two pick in the NFL draft, the Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. This was hard to do because it could be another quarterback, but I picked Zach Wilson because he fits more in the Jets scheme and Robert Saleh's scheme, and Zach Wilson can thrive at the next level. And he did great at BYU, and I think he can do well in the NFL. For the third pick in the NFL draft, the Dolphins select Jamar Chase, wide receiver at LSU. Jamar Chase, obviously, is a great wide receiver. Um, in my opinion, he's the best wide receiver in this draft. He did sit out, but he's a great wide receiver. I feel like scouts think that too. And the Dolphins need a wide receiver for years, and that's Jamar Chase. So, yeah, for the fourth pick in the NFL draft, the Falcons select Justin Fields, quarterback out of Ohio State. Justin Fields really talented quarterback too. Led his team to the national championship. Uh, it could have been he could go number two depending what Jets pick, in my opinion. But with Matt Ryan being old and probably going to retire after this season, if you sit him and train him, or if you give him some starting time, he can really thrive at the next level. For our fifth pick in the NFL draft, the Bengals select Penei Sewell, offensive tackle out of Oregon. Penei Sewell, easily the best offensive tackle, offensive guard. Out of this draft, he's really talented. He can go in and impact immediately, which is pretty rare. And yeah, he'll be great at the next level. They need someone to pitch at Joe Burrow, and he's the perfect guy to do it. For sixth pick in the NFL draft, the Eagles select Patrick Surtain, cornerback out of Alabama. Patrick Surtain is a really, really talented cornerback, in my opinion, the best cornerback in this draft. The Eagles need a corner. They need to improve their defense. I think they need a cornerback more than they need a wide receiver. I feel like the Eagles organization agrees with that too. So that's why for seventh pick in the NFL draft, the Lions select Jalen Waddle, wide receiver out of Alabama. Jalen Waddle was a starter before the Heisman Trophy winner because Jalen Waddle did get injured for most of the season. So he is a really talented wide receiver. He can go up and get it. He reminds me of a little bit of a Tyreek Hill type of player. And the Lions need a wide receiver because Kenny Galladay probably will go to another team, and that's why I picked Jalen Waddle to go to the Lions. For the eighth pick in the draft, the Panthers select Michael Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Michael Parsons has been coming out accusations of hazing, but I don't think that will affect his draft stock. The Panthers really need a linebacker since Luke Kuechly retired, and he's a freakish athlete. You can pay him edge, you can play him whatever, and he'll be a good prospect for the Panthers. For the ninth pick of the NFL draft, the Broncos select Kwity Paye, edge rusher out of Michigan. Kwity Paye is a really great edge rusher. Easily the best edge rusher in the draft. I feel like the Broncos need an edge rusher since Von Miller's getting old and he's always injured, so Kwity Paye can fit right into that. I feel like they need an edge rusher more than they need a cornerback. Kwity Paye is more of a run stuffer, but he's pretty good, so that's why I pick him. For the 10th pick in the NFL draft, the Cowboys select Caleb Farley, cornerback out of Virginia Tech. The Cowboys, they need a cornerback badly. They need some defensive players, period. But I feel like the best defensive player available is Caleb Farley, and they do need a quarterback. So he's the second best cornerback available. Uh, he can pick off the pass really well, and he has great zone and man coverage. For the 11th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Giants select Devontae Smith, wide receiver at Alabama. Devontae Smith easily. The Giants need a big, deep threat. My team, they need a big, deep threat, and Devontae Smith won Heisman. He's a really great wide receiver, and broke a ton of records at Alabama. And I think he'll be great in the next level. For the 12th pick in the NFL draft, the 49ers select Trey Lance, quarterback at North Dakota State. The 49ers, I don't think they believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like they need a quarterback more than they need anything, to be honest. Even though he did lead them to a Super Bowl, Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think, is the quarterback. And I feel like they agree with that, too. That's why I picked Trey Lance. He's a great quarterback. For the 13th pick in the NFL draft, the Chargers select Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle at Northwestern. Rashawn Slater at this point is the best offensive tackle, in my opinion, in the draft. He can come in, produce really well. The Chargers need offensive tackle. They need someone to protect Justin Herbert. They really didn't have that this season. That's why I picked Rashawn Slater to go to the Chargers at number 13. For 14th pick in the NFL draft, the Vikings select Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle of Virginia Tech. The Vikings need an offensive tackle. They need some offensive line. Their offensive line getting old. And at this point, the best offensive tackle is Christian Darrisaw. And that's why I think they'll pick him at number 14. For the 15th pick in the NFL draft, the Patriots select Kyle Pitts, tight end at Florida. Obviously, Kyle Pitts is the best tight end in this draft. The Patriots really need a tight end. They do need weapons for Cam Newton. And Kyle Pitts can start out. You can line him back at wide receiver, at tight end, doesn't matter. He's really a versatile player, and I think he'll be great at the next level. For the 16th pick in the NFL draft, the Cardinals select Najee Harris, running back at Alabama. Najee Harris arguably is the best running back in this draft. I think the Cardinals really need a running back for Kyle Murray and for the organization. I don't think Kenyon Drake is getting it done. He's an average running back, and they need a great running back, and I think Najee Harris is and will be that. And that's why I picked Najee Harris at number 16. For the 17th pick in the NFL draft, the Raiders select Joseph Osai, edge rusher of Texas. Joseph Osai is the best edge rusher at this point. The Raiders really need some defense. They really do need an edge rusher too, because ever since leaving Khalil Mack to the Bears, I think they really need an edge rusher and someone to get to the quarterback. And I think Joseph Osai could be that out of Texas. For the 18th pick in the NFL draft, the Dolphins select Travis Etienne, running back out of Clemson. The Dolphins really need a running back. I don't think Myles Gaskin is doing it for them. They need another weapon, or they can run a two-man set with Gaskin and Travis Etienne. He's a really speedy running back, and he can line up at the slot too. He reminds me a little bit of Christian McCaffrey, and that's why I think the Dolphins would pick him at number 18. For 19th pick in the NFL draft, the Washington football team select Mac Jones, quarterback out of Alabama. Alex Smith, the quarterback for the football team currently, he's just not a good quarterback. He's old, and Mac Jones really actually reminds me of a younger Alex Smith, and someone that can throw the ball incredibly accurate. And of course, he was in the Heisman discussions, and I think he'll be a great quarterback for them. For the 20th pick in the NFL draft, the Bears select Samuel Cosmi, offensive tackle out of Texas. the Bears really do need an offensive tackle to protect whatever quarterback is going to be, whether it be Mr. Trubisky or another quarterback. Their O-line getting old. Their O-line hasn't been consistent, and that's why I think the Bears would pick Samuel Cosme at number 20. For the 21st pick in the draft, the Colts select J.C. Horn, quarterback out of South Carolina. I think the Colts really need a cornerback. They need to improve on the secondary period. They really didn't have a consistent secondary, and J.C. Horn is the best cornerback available at this point, and I think he'll fit right into their scheme and can impact immediately. So that's why I picked J.C. Horn at number 21. For the 22nd pick in the NFL draft, the Titans select Gregory Rousseau, edge rusher out of Miami. Even though Gregory Rousseau did set out as well, he's a really talented edge rusher. And the Titans really need an edge rusher since Jadeveon Clowney wasn't consistent, and their defense was absolutely horrible this season, especially in the run and the pass. So that's why I picked Gregory Rousseau. I think they will too at number 22. For the 23rd pick in the NFL draft, the Jets select Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota. This wide receiver class is really rich, really good. And I think Rashad Bateman will go well with the Jets. The Jets really, really need a good wide receiver. They don't have any weapons for Zach Wilson, who I think they're going to pick at number 2. So that's why Rashad Bateman will be picked at number 23. For the 24th pick in the NFL draft, the Steelers select Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle out of Michigan. Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan is a really talented offensive tackle, and the Steelers really need that, especially since they were probably one of the worst rush games in the NFL. And I think it's the offensive line's fault. They couldn't block. Their O-line got injured and are getting old anyway, so that's why I think Jalen Mayfield's going to go at number 24. For the 25th pick in the NFL draft, the Jaguars select Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle out of Alabama. Alex Leatherwood is a great offensive tackle out of Alabama. They need someone to guard Trevor Lawrence. They need some O-linemen, and I think Alex Leatherwood can fit perfectly. For the 26th pick in the NFL draft, the Browns select Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker out of Notre Dame. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is a great linebacker. He can get after the quarterback, and he's arguably the best linebacker in this draft. The Browns really need a linebacker, and that's why I think they'll pick him. For the 27th pick in the NFL draft, the Ravens select Azeez Ojulari, edge rusher out of Georgia. The Ravens, I think, need an edge rusher, especially because I think Matthew Judon's going to be gone in free agency. So I think Azeez Ojulari will fit perfectly in their scheme. He can get after the pass, get after the run. And I think the Ravens will pick him at number 27. For the 28th pick in the NFL draft, the Saints select Eric Stokes, cornerback out of Georgia. Eric Stokes is a really good cornerback and the best cornerback available right now in this draft at this point. I think the Saints will pick him. They need someone to complement with Marshawn Lattimore, the quarterback number 2. So I think Eric Stokes would be the perfect guy, especially since Janoris Jenkins might retire or might leave the team. For the 29th pick in the NFL draft, the Packers select Asante Samuel Jr. Asante Samuel Jr., cornerback out of Florida State. Asante Samuel will be a good cornerback number 2, especially since Kevin King is a horrible cornerback number 2. I don't think Asante Samuel will fit perfectly in their scheme. For the 30th pick in the NFL draft, the Bills select Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. The Bills really need a linebacker and to complete their defense. Their secondary is great. Their defensive line is good. They just need some linebackers, and I feel like Zaven Collins can be the perfect one to fit in their scheme. He can edge rush. He can get to the quarterback. He He can be edge rusher for you. He can be a zone linebacker for you, and I think he'll be a pretty good linebacker. For 31st pick in the NFL draft, the Buccaneers select Jalen Phillips, edge rusher at Miami. The Buccaneers, I think, really do need an edge rusher. Even though they have Jason Pierre-Paul and stuff, I think Shaquille Barrett's going to leave in free agency. So, Jalen Phillips can fill in that role as an edge rusher, get to the quarterback. He can play. He can play. He's pretty good, so, and their defensive line's getting old, so I think he'll be perfect. For the 32nd pick in the NFL draft, the Chiefs select Vera Tucker, inside lineman at USC. The Chiefs really need a lineman because theirs is getting old, and when they retire, I think Vera Tucker can slip in and help them out. And he's really versatile. He can play on a guard tackle, and that's why I pick him for the last pick in the first round. And that is going to conclude my first round mock draft, the NFL draft, part 1. I'm going to make a part 2 when free agency is over and trades and stuff. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and turn on post notifications for anytime I upload for some Giants news or for draft news period, or just for my mock drafts and stuff. For NFL news period. So, that's what this channel is going to be about. Hope you like it, and yeah, God bless you and peace.